So recently, I beat World of Light Spiritless, and I've done this multiple times, but I've never ever beat the final boss Spiritless. But yesterday, I finally did it. This took a long time of grinding, and I think it's really hard, and I don't care if I'm the first or even the last to do it. Dude, I just wanted to do it. It felt so good. So I figured I'd share with you guys pretty much how I did it, and obviously it's shown on screen now. I'm speeding it up because the boss rush is not the important part, but I just wanted to prove, I beat the boss rush. And the boss rush actually takes a bunch of strategy, which if you want me to go over it in a different video, I obviously can, because I know, like, the boss is really good now. So if you want me to go over them, just let me know, and I can. But I'm just going to explain a few things here, obviously. First off, my loadout, or the characters I used. I used Palutena, Lucina, and Joker. Why those three? Simple reasons. They're fast, I'm good with them, and they have a counter. And in Palutena and Joker's, they have a reflector and a counter, which is great. Having a reflector in this is amazing, but I think having a counter is even better. Because obviously you can reflect attacks, and you can counter attacks. Now, the problem is that you don't do a lot of damage, right? But counters and reflectors do, because you're reflecting their damage back at them. They don't, like, insta-kill the boss or anything, but they just help you, they just speed up the boss process. And there's no reason not to have counters or reflectors in the slightest. So I just, if you want to do this, make sure you're using characters with counters and reflectors. And you obviously want fast characters, because when I initially started doing this, I was using, I think it was Joker, Lucina, and ZSS. And then later I switched that to Sheik, and I was having zero success with Sheik, because Sheik has zero damage output. So yeah, I don't really suggest Sheik if you want to do this. Literally anyone but her. Now let's talk about the order in which I do the boss fights. I think the order you do them is very important. I think starting with the hardest is the way to go. I started with Calamity Ganon because he is easily the hardest in this run. Maybe not even for you, but I think he just is. I don't care what you say, he just is. The problem with him is that you can only hit him from behind, meaning you can't just kind of punish him whenever you want. You have to actually jump over him and hit him, meaning he can very well hit you, and any hit in this can literally be your death. So just be aware of that. I think he's the hardest. Almost every move he has, you have to fear. And then the second hardest is easily Giga Bowser. Giga Bowser isn't particularly hard, but the thing that makes him such a hard fight is the fact that you're on Final Destination, a very small battlefield. And that kind of sucks, because you gotta realize his attacks are fucking huge. And he has very stupid attacks. His up tilt and up smash are very, very stupid. They will just hit you for no reason. The hitbox on will make no sense. And he's a bit busted. But at the same time, it's not too hard, because you can kind of counter spam him for a while. But if you get hit with Giga, his fire breath, it'll pretty much put you in kill range no matter what. So the order I suggest doing it in is obviously Calamity Ganon. Start with that, lead with Pala, and then I think go from an easy fight so you can heal after the Calamity Ganon fight. I think the two easiest fights are Gallium and Marks, because Marks has nothing you can fear. And Gallium's just everything he does is either counterable or easy to not get hit by. He's absolutely easily the easiest fight. And Marks literally has, I think, three moves you have to avoid. Being the stupid, laser move, which you'll probably see. And I think it's I don't know what it is or what it's called or whatnot. But the way to put it is it's just like a gigantic stage controlling thingy that does infinite damage to you. And the easiest way to avoid it is literally just get under him. And if it's under him, slightly move to the left. Or right, wherever you are. But yeah, that's pretty much the boss rush and all I really want to say about it. As I said, if you want me to talk about the boss rush, just let me know. I can give tips on how to beat every boss and what you should be doing. Pretty simple. I think the boss rush is very simple compared to the final boss, but I find it a lot of fun, and I honestly gotta kind of suggest doing it Spiritless, because it's challenging, but it's fun challenging. And finally, we have the final fight. This is a hard fight, and the strategy to this is very simple. Don't get hit. Now, this obviously may take a little bit more for some people because they don't know the the patterns like I do and the counterplay. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you can just learn not to get hit here, you are golden. Also, I think the spirit or the skill tree loadout you have is just huge here. If you have a bad loadout, this is not gonna be fun for you. I suggest having triple jump. It helps so much. If there's just one thing I want to take away, get double jump and get plus air attacks, because plus air attacks will mean you do more damage when you're already doing very minuscule damage. And the plus attack or the plus jump allows you to stall off stage on attacks more and allows you to get more attacks off in the air. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And so what to do in this boss fight, right? It's kind of tricky, but you gotta keep them at around even percents. Because if you just run away with one, you're not gonna have the other to do damage to the other. Because they can hurt each other. And you need to play it to your absolute most advantage you possibly can. Because you do 0 damage. Like, you do nothing, but they do damage to each other a lot more. So, any chance you get, try and get them to attack each other. I highly just suggest, like, let's say, like, the light one is throwing out an attack, run to the black one, and just try and take that hit or try and get them to take the hit. Oh, another thing I didn't mention is I kind of have mods on. I didn't realize I did. I just play with mods. I don't do them in videos, but yeah, ignore that. I don't have a mod switch. Nintendo, please don't take my family. Thank you.
I'll do